A top defense expert has said that instead of spending an estimated $2.5 billion on 30 Sea Guardian unmanned aerial systems, India should approach the US government to procure 35 Global Hawk drones. The US Air Force has proposed to the US Department of Defense to scrap two-thirds of its fleet of Global Hawk systems, and this would clear the decks for India's Ministry of Defense to ask for the retired Global Hawk systems under the Pentagon's Excess Defense Articles program, at heavily discounted prices, or even free of cost in cases where US national security objectives are being strengthened. The Indian Navy has not commented on whether it plans to approach the Pentagon for buying Global Hawk drones under the EDA program. The Indian Army has started the deployment of the Israeli anti-tank guided systems on the line of control on the Pakistan border. India had signed a deal with Israel for the acquisition of 240 Spike systems under an emergency procurement route, which are generally used for anti-tank operations, but India plans to use it in the bunker buster mode. The Defense Acquisition Council is set to consider the acquisition of 21,000 new night vision devices for the Indian Army, in a deal worth 1,600 crore rupees, that can be mounted on the existing Kalashnikov rifles, Israeli Teva, and the upcoming AK-203 rifles. Officials have said that the acquisition for 5 regiments of self-propelled air defense system will have to wait a little longer. According to latest media reports, the low availability of funds is forcing the Indian Navy to cut down on its plan to grow into a 200-ship navy by 2027. Changes are being made in the Maritime Capability Perspective Plan 2027 to realign and reprioritize the Navy's acquisition with shrinking defense budget. Pakistan and China are planning to conduct a joint naval exercise in the North Arabian Sea. The Pakistan-China maritime exercise begins in December, and the Chinese contingent comprises at least 4 destroyers and frigates, conventional submarines, and a detachment of Marines of the Chinese Navy. While addressing his top commanders, the Indian Air Force chief emphasized on the need to enhance joint training and operations with the Indian Army and Navy. The top commanders discussed anti-drone operations, strengthening precision targeting, certain issues relating to indigenization, and streamlining procurement of equipment and training. The Indian Air Force chief also highlighted the need for continuous enhancement of in-house maintenance capabilities and best utilization of new inductions to deter any misadventures by the adversaries. Hindustan Aeronautics has said that it is ready with the indigenous light utility helicopter and is eagerly waiting for the orders from Indian Armed Forces to replace its aging fleet of Cheetah and Chetak helicopters. The light utility helicopter would be used for reconnaissance and surveillance, aerial photography, and airborne forward controller.